I took my GoPro 11 to Disney, hoping to get some epic shots, some great point of view rides on those roller coasters. But in reality, I got stuck by some Disney rules, some low light chaos, and some proper dad fails. So if you're planning on taking your GoPro, hoping for the perfect action shots to Disney, then this video is for you. Right, let's talk gear, wins, and what I would do differently. And if you like gear reviews and a bit of dad honesty, then hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me keep my man den running. Right then, so GoPro 11, it was absolutely fantastic. I love it. I've loved it ever since I've had it. I've managed to get all sorts of amazing clips from it. Point of view on the roller coasters, amazing. Got some fantastically clear, crisp shots. It did have one big downfall though, and that it was terrible at low light. When I first went in, I have some wonderful soundtrack of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Magic Kingdom, but you can't see anything. So that was disappointing. My wife and kids had some iPhones and Samsungs, and their footage in the dark much better than this. But there are ways around it. There are ways to improve it. So let's have a look. Ooh, I'm recording something there. So when I looked in, for the most of the time I had this on full frame, the GoPro. I was happy with that. I have it at 4K because I don't want it to take as much room as the big 5.3K, but I wanted to have some 4K. I wanted it in the full frame so that I could do videos upright and horizontal, and I could be a bit more lenient. But I went online to find out some ways that I could improve the low light. There is one. I'll start off with. So what I did is I kept full frame exactly how it was, and I changed one of my other settings. So I went to cinematic and changed that so it'd be on a low light setting. So when I was going between different rides, I didn't have to go through all the menus. I could just select one or the other. There were a couple of things that I read. Hyper wide lens would allow more light in. So that was my first setting that I tried, with the frames per second staying at 30. I also changed the ISO settings from automatic to minimum being 1600 and maximum being 3200. That was absolutely fantastic. The quality in the pictures were much better. I say fantastic, certainly fantastic compared to what it was. I did have some footage from the Star Wars ride, which I thought was really good, the part where you walk through, but it just looked very distorted. It was too wide, so I didn't like it. And also, if you forgot to swap over when you did go in the light, all you got was white. It just let all the light in. So, other than the wide, I was pretty happy with it. So, after the following day, after I watched the Star Wars clips, we then did Guardians of the Galaxy, and I did some tweaks to it to try and improve it. I changed the lens to wide. One of the other things that was suggested was frames per second going down to 24. So I did that as well. Kept the ISO settings I had before. And on the whole, the Guardians of the Galaxy video is very, very good. The only thing is it's a little bit more grainy than the settings I had before. So I think I've still got a bit of tweaking to do. Ready, Blake? If you're going to low light, create two of the options, one for normal and one for low light rides. In those low light rides, just keep reviewing, tweak it until you get the thing you want. I doubt it will get as good as a phone, but a lot of the rides you can't hold the phone, you've only got the GoPro. Luckily with Pirates of the Caribbean, it was quite a sedate boat ride. People were able to hold their phones. But yeah. Wasn't asked anywhere in Disney to take the GoPro off, or it was banned. Did have one ride, which we'll get on to next, that had a massive dad fail, but other than that, absolutely fantastic. I can't fault it. If you've got one, you should take it. It really got some fantastic holiday clips for the family to savor. But yeah, that's it. Right, next item on the list was my trusty 1.2 meter extension pole with remote control. I've used this everywhere I go. I don't go without it. However, as with Discovery Cove, as soon as I started doing this, I was getting politely asked to move it down.
Make sure we have our GoPros and our selfie sticks collapsed, not extended, but collapsed.
Control was fine, but other than using this for a selfie when we first walked into Magic Kingdom, the camera very quickly came off this and onto one of my other mounts, which I'm going to show later. So I had it in the suitcase. By halfway through this, the holiday, as we were trying to save space, fit more food, there's 5 of us, this was one of the things that ended up being left at home because it was never used. But yeah, if you've got room, you could pack it, but I never used it after I was told to put it away. And now this is what was the biggest surprise of the holiday. I'd ordered the wrist mount for the GoPro, and here it is. I think it's about $39.99. I think that's what I paid for it on the GoPro website. So the GoPro goes into the mount like everything else. The wrist strap goes through your thumb. There is another strap as well, which doesn't have the thumb bit, but the GoPro sits on top, and you can actually spin that 360 degrees, so you can get really good views. I've got some really good footage from a couple of the roller coasters, so I've been able to show the roller coaster and my family. My hand sometimes gets in the way, but yeah, it was really good. And the strap, fantastic, really secure, really really useful. Keeps your hands free to do anything else as well. It was really good. The other thing is, I got stopped quite a few times by people saying, "Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice and discreet. That's something I'll look at." You know, that hadn't seen this sort of thing before. So I don't know if it's new by GoPro, but yeah, it was. This was the unsung hero. I think the only bit that looks a little bit funny is my family have taken some videos and pictures on their cameras, and I'm constantly walking around like this, or I was having pictures like this. But you know, the shots were fantastic. So I think this is a must-have if you want to do some GoPro footage around Disney. All but one of the rides asked me to take it off, so we'll get on to that. So yeah, all the rides, no one had any problems with it. Just got compliments. So yeah, recommend that. And finally, my big dad fail. So this isn't a GoPro, this is an Amazon Basics chest mount. I had this packed in the bottom of my rucksack, thinking I might use it, and so I better have it. Again, like with the pole, a few days into the holiday, I hadn't used it, needed it. We'd done Magic Kingdom, hadn't done all the rides, but we went back a few days later, and we were there for the Halloween party. So we emptied a lot of stuff from our rucksack that we did not need, including this and the GoPro pole, so we could get all the sweets in because we were doing trick-or-treating. Anyway, me and my son did the TRON ride, and it was a fantastic ride, but that was the only ride that they asked me to take. As I was in the queue, they said, "Have you got the chest mount for that?" And my heart sank. My son went, "Oh, Dad," because I had to put that in the locker. They wouldn't allow me that on the TRON ride. So yeah, absolutely fantastic for most, but the TRON ride, you can't use this. So you need to make sure that you've got your chest mount in your bag for the TRON ride if you wanted to do that. But yeah, big dad fail, because I never actually used it, and I was gutted when I needed it. So big tip, keep it in your rucksack. Yeah, so final thoughts. If you want to take your GoPro, your action camera, GoPro, and it's in a case to keep it safe from scratches, they're a must-have. And the wrist and mount strap, it was an absolute dream having that. You could get away if you were happy holding a selfie stick on its shortest of those views of walking around the parks, but you can't use that in any of the rides. So I think the selfie stick's or the extension pole, if you've got space, take it just in case, but you don't really need it. And then don't remove your chest mount just in case you get asked to move. Like I say, it only happened on the one ride, but make sure you get your chest mount in your rucksack. Big dad fail. And again, like my review of Discovery Cove, one big surprise to me is I didn't see another GoPro, didn't see another action camera. I was the only one that I saw. I saw a few people with their phones and gimbals that seem to be doing live videos, podcasts, live streaming on maybe on their YouTube channels. But other than that, it was all people with mobile phones. At Disney, you've got loads of people, particularly if you get the photo pass, that are taking photos of you. So you don't really need the family selfie stick. There's so many options to get a nice picture if you've got the photo pass. But there was, yeah, I didn't see another person with a GoPro on any of the rides. So I seem to be the only one. And I think if you've got it, it's well worth it. The clips that I have are fantastic, and it will be, help my boys' memories, and they'll love looking back at over the years. So, yeah, if you've got a GoPro, take it. You've got a lot out of it. So that's my DadRanger debrief and tips on my GoPro at the Disney parks. If you like reviews on GoPros and some of the clips that I've been taking, then like and subscribe. Next clip will be Universal and how I got on with my GoPro at Universal. I suspect this video is going to be 6-10 minutes. Universal is probably going to be a minute. It won't be very long. But yeah, we'll leave that for next time. So thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.